FNAF or Five Nights at Treasure Island is one of my favorite and popular FNAF game ever. This game was created in December 1st, 2014 by Anard, and it is one of my oldest FNAF games. He created version 1.0 and 2.0. Then Anard gives game to Purit Sinners and team. Then they created 3.0, but the final release is April of 2019 by Radiance. But in this video I will not talk about Fnatic. But if you want, I can create a video about it. In this video I will talk about differences between Nightmare Before Disney by Malrat and Nightmare Before Disney remake by Mr. Manetti. If you don't know, Nightmare Before Disney is a game created by Subwoofer X3 and inspired by the FNAF and FNAF 4, but the game was cancelled by stress. But then the fans created Nightmare Before Disney games. But first I want to say that Malrat created 3 versions of Nightmare Before Disney, but in this video I will talk about version 3, and now we can talk about the differences. The story of Nightmare Before Disney is that the person whose name is Jake, who is a criminal, caught and killed him by the electric chair, and now he is dealing with spirits that Jake killed, and now they want revenge. In every night your subconsciousness will give you a hint how to survive every night. When Jake survived night 5, he given a chance to live, but Jake chose to complete night 6 and then I think he survived. The story of Nightmare Before Disney remake is close similar to Nightmare Before Disney by Malrat. The difference is that in remake Jake is alive and having an ending. In the ending, someone is calling Jake, and it appears that is Henry. He called to say that someone whose name is Greg is coming to pick Jake's place. Then Jake says that the day shift is not that hard. Jake asked that he was missing for weeks and asked where you've been for weeks, and Henry says he's been this all time here and appears in room, and it appears that all time Henry was a nightmare and dying. In Nightmare Before Disney and Nightmare Before Disney Remake, there are a lot of differences in gameplay, but first I want to talk about Office, that the player are. In Nightmare Before Disney, the left side is useless, because there aren't come any nightmare, compared to Nightmare Before Disney Remake. In left side, there will be Hortensia and Goofy, and that is the differences of offices. In either cases, the rooms are similar. In Nightmare Before Disney, if you want to protect, you must use a Mickey Voodoo doll, but in remake you must blink. But in other cases they are similar too. And also you need to use pills to keep heart rate as it below 100, as if it goes over you will die. Pills mechanic is used also in remake. Also there are 3 nightmares whose mechanics different compared to Nightmare Before Disney and remake. In Nightmare Before Disney the Hortensia is in camera 5 and you must look at as the time will be 0 the Hortensia will kill you. In remake the Hortensia will came into the office and the eyes will be 3 colors, red, blue and green, and the music will play. Then if the color was example red, you must find the red rabbit in cameras. As the music stops, the Hortensia will kill you. The 2 others is Donald and Daisy. If you want to stop the noises when they appear, you must use Voodoo, but in remake you only need to open cameras. Now let's talk about characters. Nightmare Before Disney have 10 characters, and that is Nightmare Suicide Mouse, Nightmare Photonegative Mickey, Nightmare Donald, Nightmare Hortensia, Nightmare Daisy, Nightmare Oswald, Nightmare Face, Nightmare Minnie, Nightmare Goofy, and Nightmare Undying. Nightmare Before Disney Remake have a similar characters to Nightmare Before Disney, but there are 2 characters that you can activate in settings or they in custom night, and that is Nightmare Pluto and Nightmare Mick Mick. Let's compare characters. Both games have a major differences in extra. Example, in Nightmare Before Disney, you can watch the Nightmare Screamers, but the remake have a custom night. Nightmare Before Disney also have Endless Night, that is will be endless, and the deleted characters. Remake have 3 offices to choose, 2 mini-games, FNAF 2.0 and Nightmare Before Disney 2016, making Nightmare Undying that is showing how it was created. At the end, I want to say my verdict. To me, Nightmare Before Disney remake is better than Nightmare Before Disney, but I didn't say that Nightmare Before Disney by Malrad is worse. No, for me I think that the game is good, but remake is better. The next thing that I want to do is ranking all FNAF games by Malrad. But now thank you very much for watching and see you guys in next video.